'Tis my most fervent belief that the Fellowship of Noah will, piece by piece, lay bare the long buried secrets of ancient Aleg's history. But the doing of it will require all of your skill and more. Mayhap I can convince Master Garland to allow me to accompany you, that I might see some of these horrific guardians in the flesh. I am quite proficient with the bow, you know. And he doesn't use it in Shadowbringers. Yeah, same. I assume they're the same too. I'll double check. No, it's going to be all the same. That's kind of disappointing. Circus Tower. Rimbros is frustrated over Noah's lack of progress on the Crystal Tower. Well, I mean, we just kind of finished Labyrinth. Ah, 'tis you, my friend. You are doubtless eager to hear of our progress on the Crystal Tower. Yeah. All, 60 seconds of it. Excellent. I'd be disappointed to hear otherwise. Of course, disappointed is the word of the day, I fear. I'm ashamed to say that there is nothing worthwhile to report. The suns continue to probe the labyrinth of the ancients, and every day brings new discoveries. Alas, the same cannot be said of the Crystal Tower proper. We've not been able to set so much as a single foot inside it. You will recall how the 8 sentinels stood between us and the labyrinth initially. In like manner, the entryway into the principal spire, Circus Tower, the Allegans called it, is also protected by technology far more advanced than our own. Sid and I have tried every trick we know, but without success. Frankly speaking, we are at a loss. Oh, but without success. Frankly speaking, we are at a loss. Reading is hard. It is discouraging, but we cannot give up. There must be a way in. And so the situation stands, my friend. Until we gain entry into the tower, I fear your talent shan't avail us. It will require time that I am loath to waste, but I have a mind to set my people to scouring such ancient texts as we have on hand. Perhaps we can be of assistance. Yeah, I don't know, are they considered twins or just brother and sister? I know they're clones, so I don't know what you call them. And you are? Be at ease, friends, for we share the self-same goal. I am Une, and my companion is Doga. We are scholars of the Allegan civilization, sent by the students of Baldessian to assist in your endeavor. Une and Doga, rather unusual names for this day and age, if I might be forgiven for observing, but I digress. You claim to be here at the students' behest, but we have received nary a word of your coming. Moreover, in light of the recent incident at the Isle of Val, I should think that they have rather more pressing concerns. We can only assume that the message failed to reach you due to some mishap. I assure you that we are here to help. What is it, Graha? Just my eye hurts. A little glaucoma. I don't know that glaucoma causes eye pain, but anyway. A bad joke. 'Tis nothing. There was a pain, but it has subsided. Well, this is rather unexpected. Your right eye is the same as ours. The same? You have the Allegan eye as well? This sanguine hue is said to be a trait unique to the Allegans, yet I inherited it from my father, as he did from his. Only one child in a single generation is born with the eye. All my life, I have sought to learn the truth of its manifestation. If there is aught you know, I implore you to tell me. My deepest apologies, but we have no answers for you. Only one thing is certain. Those who possess the trait are bound by fate to Alleg. As your eye has placed you upon the path you walk, So too have we come here to fulfill our destiny. Absurd though it may sound, it is the truth. It seems to me we have naught to lose by accepting their aid. What say you? If that is your wish, then so be it. Yet know that I still mean to verify your story with the students of Baldessian when I am able. I trust there will be no objections. Very well. As of this moment, I name Une and Doga advisory members of NOAA. Without further ado, let us have them examine the circus tower entrance. I promise you'll not have cause to regret your decision. Lavenza, I should be much obliged if you were to accompany our new friends to the tower. Biggs and Wedge are presently surveying the 8 sentinels. The 2 of them can show you the way. Upon arrival, pray report to Master Garland. He will brief you on the situation. I shall join you, Lavenza. With Une and Doga's knowledge, along with your uncanny knack for setting events in motion, I am hopeful that we will finally see progress. So yeah, their Uni and Doga are like Allegan clones or something like that, and it's because of their blood, and I think because they're male and female or something that's needed to like essentially like deactivate the security or whatever. I remember that much. Well, if it isn't Lavenza, eager to enter Circus Tower and kill everything in sight, no doubt. As I'm sure you've already heard, though, the place is locked up tight as a clam. New friends with from the students, you say? Excellent. It's been slow going, or rather no going, for the chief. He'll appreciate the help. If you'll just follow me, I'll take you to him. Yeah, because it has like the male and female on the door and their hands, and so they touch it. I remember. Ah, some old faces to lift the spirit, and a couple of new ones besides. Allow me to introduce Une and Doga. They are scholars of ancient Alleg, sent here by our friends of Baldessian to aid in the investigation. We understand you're having trouble circumventing the tower's defenses. 'Tis our hope that we can be of some small assistance. If your tires ought to go by, your assistance should prove invaluable indeed. To begin with, let me tell you where we stand. Beyond rises Circus Tower, the principal spire of the structure collectively known as the Crystal Tower. The only way to get inside is through the proverbial front door, the imposing gate you see here. The problem is we can't get it to open. It's sealed by some mechanism whose workings are an utter mystery to us. Having had no success via more orthodox methods, I went at it with everything from a pickaxe to a Magitech cannon. Nothing so much as put a scratch on it. For a blessing, the gate doesn't try to reduce us to ashes like the 8 sentinels, but that doesn't make it any less effective a security measure. It's fiendishly frustrating in its simplicity. The only clue we have is the elaborate device carved upon it, a man and a woman respective. Allegan royalty, by my judgment. Precisely who these individuals were, we cannot say, nor do we know whether the device actually serves a purpose. Like as not, it is purely decorative. Nope. If you're thinking to force it, save your strength. It's no use. Just ask the calluses on my hands. Rest assured, we do not mean to waste our strength. Indeed. Why should we exert ourselves when the gate will open of its own accord? Everybody else is like, You got some splaining to do. That kind of says it all. I need say nothing more. I don't think any of us expected that to happen. 7 hells. What is this? What did you do? What are you? Piercing the heavens and gathering the light, a symbol of mankind's glory and might. Oh, its virtue guarded by gates impregnable, only to those of royal blood answerable, exactly as passed down through legend. I am delighted to see. I've got to say, I really like what they did with Nero. You know, bringing him back and being this kind of, you know, not bad guy, but kind of like a thorn in the side of Sid, you know, kind of a foil to him or whatever. Beg pardons for interrupting your bewilderment. I couldn't help but notice the remarkable playthings you have acquired. Nero? You're still alive? Garland, Garland, if I didn't know better, I would say you weren't happy to see me. Ah, but I jest. In light of our recent meetings, you have every right to be wary. But rest assured, I am no longer a threat to you. My legion is for all intents and purposes defunct, and my association with it means a tight noose awaits me back in Garlemald. And so I've been roaming this land Eorzea, a regular itinerant. In the course of my wanderings, I chanced to catch wind of your latest venture. It sounded positively fascinating, and so I decided to come here and join you. I like how he can just be like, I mean, I was once your enemy, but now I'm not, so let's hang out. After the wrongs you've committed, you think us that gullible? If you are suspicious of my intent, 'tis only my just deserts. But I am determined to make amends. As a gesture of goodwill, I will share with you what I know, starting with these 2 odd characters. As you are doubtless already aware, the Crystal Tower was the symbol of ancient Aleg's might and prosperity. Entry was permitted only to royalty and a select few individuals. According to the records I have unearthed, only royal blood can open the gate. In other words, the Emperor and his progeny were living keys. You mean to say that these 2 are descended from Allegan royalty? Oh, I suggest nothing so glamorous. To put it plain, they are imitations of royalty, living keys born of Allegan ingenuity. And this just makes me think. I know that um, Solus or Emmett like had cloning technology and used that to, anytime the body died, he would just go into another clone. But I don't remember if it was based off of Allegan technology or if they figured it out on their own. Just these two are making me think of that. Clones, I believe, is the name your creators gave your kind. Is that not so? 'Twould seem that the time for concealment is past. Pray accept our apologies. 'Twas not our intent to deceive. We simply wish to avoid causing undue alarm by prematurely making what many would consider deranged claims. If it please you, let us return to the 8 sentinels. There is much and more to tell. I mean, you can tell it here. It's not really any different between here and there. It's not like either one is any more comfortable to sit and have a chat. Very well. Seven hells, do you seriously mean to follow us around? Come, Garland, you know me better than to think that I spoke in jest. What more will it take for us to be reconciled? A gift, perhaps? I just love how like he's just like, come on, I want to be friends. Let's be friends now. I mean, I apologized. Isn't that enough? An Allegan tombstone. It holds the information I just shared with you, and a deal more besides. It used to be the jealously guarded property of the 14th Legion, but it's yours now. I wish you joy of it. I look forward to working together, old friend. The Chief and Nero go all the way back to the Magitech Academy. It's an exclusive school situated in the capital, reserved for the Empire's brightest elite. I don't know the nitty gritty details, but they didn't get along back then, and they don't get along now. Fate's a bastard for bringing them together again. To think the Allegans could make copies of people. If this knowledge were to fall into the wrong hands, the world would become a terrible place. I shudder to imagine a dozen Bigs shouting at me all day long. It goes without saying that Nero can't be trusted. We'd do well to keep an eye on him at all times. Let us hear what Une and Doga have to say. It will not be too late. Yeah, it will not be too late to decide upon a course of action afterwards. Where's... Oh, there's... I was going to say, Nero's got to be here somewhere. We may not have gotten off to the best of starts, but the past is in the past. Yesterday's enemies can yet be today's friends. Do you not agree, Warrior of Light? I don't know. I mean, I kind of like him. You have every right to mistrust us, but I beg you to hear us out. Long have we waited for this opportunity to fulfill our life's purpose. If you are ready to listen, we shall tell you all. As it pertains closely to your investigation, your leader, Rambros, may wish to be present. Before we begin, pray allow me to apologize again. It was not our intent to deceive you. As you have already gathered, we are not scholars sent by the students of Baldessian. Nay, we are clones, copies of people who once existed, given life through Allegan technology. This is rather a lot to take in. If it would not be considered unseemly, might I ask why you and yours were created? And more specifically, what is it that you now seek to do? Answering your questions requires that we revisit Allegan history. Pray bear with us. The Allegan Empire reached its zenith long before our kind came into being. In that glorious age, the Crystal Tower stood tall as the symbol of Allegan pride. Parents took their children there, that they might learn how the nigh limitless energy it produced brought prosperity to the whole empire. That prosperity, however, bred decadence, and the empire began to show signs of stagnation. This decline was made all the more rapid for want of strong leadership. In a matter of generations, the Allegan civilization became a pale shadow of its former self. Its once gleaming cities fell into disrepair, and its frontier lands were given over to the wilderness. Lamenting the pitiful state of affairs, one technologist made it his mission to restore Alec to greatness. Amon was his name, and he believed that the ailing empire wanted for but a potent ruler, and none was more potent than its founding father, whom he sought to resurrect. The founding father? You cannot mean Emperor Zonde. None other. As part of his experiments, Amon created clones of the Emperor's descendants. We are the products of that experiment, copies of Une and Doga. Historical texts mention the reigns of two Allegan emperors named Zonde. It was commonly believed that the second was the namesake of the first. After all, such a custom is not uncommon among royalty and commoners alike. To think that the two were in fact one and the same. Zonde returned from the grave and assumed his throne once more. And true to Amon's prediction, the emperor restored his realm to the glory it once knew. Would that he could have been satisfied with that. In his previous life, the emperor desired to bring the entire world under Allegan dominion, an ambition that ultimately went unfulfilled. Having been granted a second chance, he was determined to succeed. Realizing that he needed more power to wage his war of conquest, Zonde turned his sights towards a forbidden source, darkness. In order to learn how to harness this power, he converted the Crystal Tower into a restricted research facility. Now Nero's smiling. Darkness again? Seven hells, what is it with megalomaniacal rulers turning to darkness in their lust for power? Well, at least this one won't be bothering us, being thousands of years dead and all. Would that you were right, Master Garland. Alas, Emperor Zonde is very much alive. Within Circus Tower, he still abides, his ambition burning all the more ardently from his empire's collapse. Wielding the power of darkness requires prodigious amounts of energy that not even the Crystal Tower could produce. In order to augment the shortfall, Dalamud was created and launched into the heavens. On high it hung, gathering the sun's energy and channeling it to the tower below. However, a miscalculation resulted in a surge of energy that escaped into the land. This triggered an earthquake of unprecedented violence, the calamity that ushered in the fourth Umbral Era. In the blinking of an eye, the mighty Elegant Empire was laid to waste. Yet, even as the Crystal Tower was sinking into the earth, the technologist Amon, now Emperor Xande's closest aide, invoked powerful magics and halted the flow of time. Every soul within the structure, the Emperor included, was placed in a deep slumber. In that state, they were to remain until the time was ripe to awaken. Eras came and went. After millennia laying dormant, Dalamud was summoned back to the earth. Its descent triggered the seventh umbral calamity, in the wake of which the Crystal Tower re-emerged. At that moment, Emperor Xande awakened. In his lust for power, the Emperor consorted with darkness and was seduced by its corrupting influence. Even though his empire is now little more than a fading memory, he will stop at nothing to see his ambition realized. I wonder... So he's bidding to the darkness, and from my understanding, when we go into the world of darkness, that is the 13th. What's left over of it. So that means that likely, I'm assuming, that even during Xande's time, or Xand, I think I've heard it both ways, during his time, the 13th had already been consumed by darkness, I think. 'Tis for no other purpose but to put an end to Xande's madness that we exist. This is the mantle we have inherited from our namesakes, the true Une and Doga. Fearing what might befall the world, the two of them sought to thwart their emperor. They gave unto us their will, that we might carry on their mission should they fail. When we came to our senses within the Crystal Tower, we deliberated a course of action. Concluding that we alone could not overcome Xande, we struck out to find a worthy ally. It has taken years, but our search is finally over. We came to our senses within the Crystal Tower. Oh, because the calamity happened 5 years ago. So they were in the tower and then like reawoke with Xande and the rest. And now they've been doing whatever for 5 years. 'Tis no ordinary woman who could cut a path through the labyrinth of the ancients. With you as our champion, Lavenza Shark, we are confident that we can end Xande's dark ambition once and for all. Well, that'll teach me for speaking too soon. Setting my chagrin aside, I see now why you knew about the students of Baldessian, among a host of other things. You were observing our investigation the whole time. So, what will we do, Lavenza? The world's in grave danger again, and it just so happens you're an expert at saving it. Let's do it. You have our eternal gratitude. Together, let us see the Elegant Empire's dark past laid to rest. It has been our mission to recover the long-lost knowledge of the Elegant civilization. But what worth is that knowledge if it means subjecting the realm to peril? Truth be told, it pains me to think that the Tower's secrets may become lost to us, but the greater good must ever come first. Besides, no quantity of ancient relics can compare to our friends Une and Doga, living, breathing elegance. And so I hereby declare a change in Noah's objective. Henceforth we shall direct all efforts towards sealing off Circus Tower. Its dark secrets must never know the light of day. So what I was saying earlier about, if we just kept it all shut, I mean, Zonde was alive, so, and awake or whatever, so we would want to stop him either way. Lavenza, as you did for us within the labyrinth of the ancients, I would have you enter the structure and eliminate hostile elements. Suffice it to say, this includes Emperor Zonde himself. Meanwhile, the rest of us shall examine ways to isolate Circus Tower from the outside world. To work, then. Sid wants to have a chat with Nero. Wait, there's something I must know. My right eye is like yours. Does this mean? You inherited the trait from your father, you said. Know that clones are unable to bear offspring. You have no cause for concern. The elegant eye, you called it, but to us it is the royal eye, owing to the fact that the trait manifests only in those possessed of royal blood. I cannot well explain why the eye runs in your line, but I am disinclined to think it a coincidence. Though you are doubtless impatient to learn the truth, pray have patience. All will be revealed in time, or in due time. I hate the way Mil Makote have that, like, death grip kind of thing. It just bugs me. Anyway. Within Circus Tower, you will encounter clones who share our appearance. Though they too were created in the image of Doga and Une, they are but empty husk, bereft of independent will. Their sole purpose is to eliminate intruders. Striking down spitting images of Une and myself may give you pause, but you must not let that stay your hand. Though their names do not appear to have survived the passage of time, Doga and Une were worthy individuals. They were not without faults, but they placed the welfare of the people above all else. When Zonde was resurrected, they supported his second ascension to the throne in hopes that the empire would flourish once more under his leadership. When it came to light that Zonde was consorting with dark powers, they did all within their power to stop him. Among their many acts, they imbued us, two humble clones, with their will. Okay, and everybody else is left. My apologies if I've given you cause to worry. I am quite well, I assure you. As you can appreciate, there has been much for me to think on. But now is the time for action, not idle thoughts. Circus Tower awaits us. Your task is to eliminate all hostile elements within the structure, Zonde himself included. This will afford us the chance to seal off the facility. May the crystal grant you strength. Thank you for watching. This Crystal Tower series has been a lot better than I was expecting, to be honest. I had watched the cutscenes again right before Shadowbringers had come out. I mean, I think literally the day before it launched, I rewatched the cutscenes, to get reacquainted, and so I I kind of thought I knew what to expect, um, and so I wasn't really looking forward to it as much as the other content I've done, um, but now having gone through the whole thing again after having completed Shadowbringers, it so much better than I expected, and um, it was just great. It was just a lot weightier than yeah I was expecting. I really enjoyed it, and I hope you did too. If so, please like, comment, and subscribe. And if you want to watch me live to complete, or to continue this journey, um, I'll be moving on to the end of A Realm Reborn, and then obviously on to Heavensward. And if you want to see that, please follow the link I've got down below to my Twitch. Thank you again for watching, and you have a great one.